Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right. Didn't think I would start this video stating this, but there has been a death in the family, my wife's family, and my wife has a slightly large family, and they're very close knit. So when I woke up at around 6 o'clock, 6 plus, kind of, my wife, tears in her eyes, and she just told me that her grandmother has passed away. Now, I wouldn't know how the relationship between child and a grandmother, because I never had a good one. Okay, in fact, I never had a good relationship with a father, mother, nobody. So most people, or normal families or good families, they tend to be very close. My wife and all the grandchildren, they love the grandmother. She was 94 years old, 94. And the other thing about her is, and this is the part that will absolutely surprise you, I mean, she was so frail. She was nothing but just skin and bones, absolutely skin and bones. And by the way, when I met her the first time for marriage, she looked at me and she said I was the devil. She told me the devil is coming, and so I had to hide my face and make sure the family was kind of uncomfortable. They found it funny, but they were feeling uncomfortable. Maybe I'd be offended by it. I said no, it's perfectly fine. I don't blame her. Like, if I would see someone like me, and uh, I've not seen the world, or I listen to a lot of folklore, I would think that guy is evil, because obviously most of the people with tattoos are considered evil. Even today in Thailand, people with tattoos, they consider them either gangsters, or people who have gone to prison, or maybe Muay Thai fighters. High class people normally, as per Thai tradition, high class people don't put tattoos unless you're a fighter, or in some cases, I'm not too sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you're someone holy, because some of them have tattoos done by monks. Okay, so I don't think high class people have tattoos. So anyway, so the grandmother, when she saw me the first time, she thought I was the devil, and she told the ghost is come and all that. So I had to hide myself from her. However, before leaving, uh, surprisingly, even though she had identified me as a devil, they made her understand that I was not the devil. I was getting married to my wifey, and she gave her blessings. Now, here's the thing: even though I met her the first time 5 or 6 years ago, she could not see. She could not see at all. There was no vision. She could not hear. Means, even if she sees, it must have been blurred or something. And she was hunched. She was a hunchback. Like, she couldn't stand up straight. And the most challenging part about having her as a grandmother, I think, was she would poop and piss where she was. Like, she didn't have the ability to go to the toilet. So, pissing, shitting, everything in one place. And that is where my admiration for the Thai family unit increased, like, absolutely, like crazy. I mean, if you see the Western families or the Western units, I'm not saying all, but I don't think they would take care of someone who's so old, where they would piss and poop and all that. Maybe because they live in apartments, or there is a carpet or sofa, or modern life, or nuclear, this thing. In India, also, taking care of old age parents mostly is done in the villages and people who are conservative, but not the modern generation. And 94, just imagine, she had given birth to, out of 11 children, two died. She had nine. And, she comes from the day and age where you're giving birth not in the hospital, you're giving birth at home. So, you're holding and you're suffering with pain, and the baby is coming out. And I don't know how she took all that. But it seems that from what I know from my wifey and her family, she really took care of all the children. She gave them a good life, even though they lived as simple villagers, farmers. They would eat together, they would pray together, they would spend time together. If there was a celebration, they would share. In fact, I don't know if you know this. When they eat food, it's all kept on a very large plate, a very large platter, and there is a lot of leaves and all natural food from the forest. From the forest, even uh, um, eggs of ants. They actually get them, and even though the ants bite them, they don't feel anything. I don't know, they're immune. For me, one bite was like, it was like acid or something. I couldn't take it. So they don't mind that. And yeah, obviously there is eggs, and but the luxury food was always meat, chicken, because they couldn't afford. So that is why they used to have chickens in their farm, and they used to take care of these animals. Chicken was normal. Pork and all that, slightly on the premium, the same. They would have pork once a month. And then prawns or crabs or any fish items, because they were not in the near the sea. Those were premium stuff. Like they would eat once in 3 months, once in 6 months, little bit. Each one would get one prawn or two prawn. That is why when I would go with my wifey to a village, for me, I'm earning in dollars and spending in baht. It's not too expensive. So I would make sure that I would give them a party. Party in the sense they would have a barbecue every day, and oh, they would be so happy. Uh, they wouldn't necessarily ask for prawns, or they would not necessarily ask for anything. They were just grateful and full of gratitude that I could get pork and chicken and eat whatever they like. And they love cooking in a barbecue style format. It's called a hot pot, where they they have a like a flame, like charcoal in a earthen pot. They put this metal dish. You can maybe Google search. It's a metal dish. It comes like this, and it is like circular all around. So the juice or the water can be put here, and here at the top, which is circular, slightly with jagged edges, you put the meat. So the heat kind of fries the meat, and the juice falls down to the soup area. So they love that. And very, very tasty, very delightful. If you're a non-vegetarian, you'd love that. It is so fresh. And no matter how much you eat, you don't feel like you've eaten anything. And after a few hours, you feel like you've not eaten anything at all. It's very fresh, gets absorbed by the body. It's not like processed food where you feel stuffed and you feel tired and you feel sleepy. You enjoy this. And the broth that is there, it's very salty, very nice, very nice. It's nice. So I used to give them these parties, and sometimes it used to be nice because her father, her late father, he would be, "Don't touch. This is my meat. This is." So they would all fight for it, and the kids. Because obviously children, no? So when they would see prawns or anything, they would hog more. So, hey, you stop eating. How much are you eating? This is my share and all that. So I would buy extras for them, and the simplicity, the genuineness, the family, the love, the bond, just incredible. Just imagine, none of them would eat alone. Like even if I would buy something for them in the market, they would say, my wife would always say, what about my auntie? What about my uncle? What about this and that? And it's not that my wife was exploiting me. She would just say, let's get little cheaper or let's get less, but let's get for everyone. And that's something I really appreciate, because I never had that. I never had a family get together and, selfless family get together. Maybe we had, but it was all shallow. But in her case, they would actually invite, each one has a like a house or a hut. Like they stay at kind of a arm's length. Like you can go 2-3 minutes, you can walk to each house. There's no, there's one lamp maybe for 200 meters. It's like the village in India. And you can hear frogs croaking if there is rain. So they would actually call the aunt, and obviously cell phones were there, so they would call, and they would come from all different directions, and then they would sit on the ground, and they would just sit, and then the stray dogs would come, and they would also sit at the side. I have these old videos, and some others I have to upload. Still not uploaded for a year. So a nice family unit. So losing the grandmother is like losing someone who was like at the helm, the senior most person. There was nobody else. And it seems that within a span of a week, she, the grandmother, and her known friends or relatives or whoever they were in that age category, one by one, each one had died. Now, my wife is going to go back to the village. The baby, I'm not going to go because I have work. And I find it very challenging to, because my studio, my setup is all here. So it's a little bit of a challenge for me, and I'm not mentally prepared to go. We had planned that my wife would go next year in April, but now she has to go. And she'll be going with the baby, I don't know, for a couple of months, because her mother, she would need the emotional support. And yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll be alone here, bachelor. Yeah, bachelor in bachelor in the sense it might look like, hey, Loy is single. No, trust me, there's enough and more headache. I have 2 guinea pigs, 4 guinea pigs. Sorry, 2 hairless guinea pigs, 2 hairy guinea pigs, four, sugar gliders, 2 dogs, 1 dog down. So every single day I have to take care of all of them. That in itself would take 2 hours of my time every day in the morning. 2 hours. Okay. Just cleaning the cage and putting the food, and that's one thing. The other thing is, it'll take time for me to adjust, because, get up in the morning and wife will just bring the coffee, and when you want food and she'll prepare. So I'll have to do the cooking and everything by myself, which is not a big deal. It's not that I've not done it. For years and years of my life, I've done it. Just, I think it would take 2-3 days to get adjusted to it. Like, for example, if you ask me, have you operated the washing machine? I would say, no. I still have to figure out, which would take me a few minutes. I think the biggest challenge for me is not the food and not the cleaning. That I'm very good at. That I'm perfect. Just the animals, cleaning their stuff every day is going to be such a headache. And yes, obviously, I'll have to make sure that wife and baby are okay. They'll be in the village. They'll be fine. So anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts and feelings. And see, here's a final thing which I want you to know. I personally, me personally, I wouldn't want to live that long. 94 years old. Number one is absolute no. Because I just don't want to live like that. I don't want to live where I can't see, I can't hear, where I'm pooping and pissing in one place and I'm a headache and other people. It doesn't suit me, man. It's not my thing. That's number one. The second thing is, I've always told my wife, the day I become a liability for you, where I'm on a wheelchair, I'm like this, and you have to put a tube here, and you have to put something up my rear end, or you have to physically take out stuff from my rear end. And there are cases like that. I would rather prefer euthanasia. I'm telling about me. I'm being very honest. There's no emotional tangent here. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. I would rather prefer euthanasia than have a life like that. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. There's some people who like to live forever. Like even my mentor, I could never understand. He wanted to live until 100 years. Yeah, if you're perfectly healthy, fine. And like my landlord, he's climbing trees at 94, 95. Okay, fine. If I'm useful and I'm able to do stuff, fine. But if I'm like pooping, pissing in one place and I can't see, I can't hear, and by the way, she even during COVID, everyone in the family got COVID. They were very serious. She also was very serious. It seems she was defecating black stuff and, like black or, yellow, green stuff from her mouth. And they thought she was going to die. And they put her in the hospital and she refused to be there. She said, no, no, I'm not. And the doctor predicted she wouldn't make it through the night. And lo and behold, where other healthy people died due to COVID, this lady at 90, that time she was 92 or 93, she didn't die. That was a shock for everyone. I was like, bloody hell, man. She's 92, 93. She's, so we used to always, me and my wife used to always have this conversation. One day she's going to die. We don't know when. And just want to be prepared for it. And obviously, you wouldn't want someone to die when they're celebrating a happy festival and just messes up everything. They were planning to go during Sonkran, which is the water festival, like Hindus celebrate Holi. So, anyway, just thought I'd share my thoughts with you on this. And if I had to give you a message, I would just say that if there are anybody, forget old people in your family, your mother, father, brother, sister, just don't take life for granted where you think that they're going to live forever. An accident, health scare, heart attack, tumor, this, that. Life is so bloody unpredictable. Yeah. So just all I'm saying is if you have something to say, don't wait. Oh, I'll do it. Come on, just call, finish, say it. Say, this is what I wanted to say, and this is what I want you to know. And if you can spend time, spend some time. Luckily for her, she went last year, or last year or before that. Whenever she went, she did take some photograph, videos. She spent time, but that was during the death of her father. And I told my wife, when you go there, think it's the last time you're ever going to see her. So just make sure that you have the memories. So she has the memories, and that's about it. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. If you watched the video so long, I appreciate. And yeah, one life, make it count. All right? You guys take care. This is me signing off.